Drawing Lessons from a Bear by David McPhail, published by Little Brown and Company. When I was young, my mother gave me lessons on how to be a bear. This is how a bear walks, she told me, and this is how a bear sits. She showed me which berries were good to eat and which ones weren't. Some I found out on my own. I learned to catch fish in a river and to climb trees to look for honey. One day I began to make claw marks in the dirt floor of our den. My mother didn't mind as long as I paid attention to my being a bear lessons. At first the marks didn't look like much, but the more I drew, the better my drawings looked. I went to the dump with my mother and some other bears. While they looked for things to eat, I searched for scraps of paper. I spent the afternoon drawing pictures on the paper with a burnt stick from a campfire. I drew pictures of a bear in a tree and gave it to my mother. She was so pleased that she put it up on the wall of our den with some magnetic rocks. When I went to school, I learned how to read and write and add and subtract, but I kept drawing. My teacher encouraged me. I drew hundreds of pictures. I drew pictures of the things I saw around me, like rocks and trees and birds and clouds. Other times I drew pictures of things I'd never seen, things I could only imagine, like dinosaur races on the moon or furry animals with wings. I loved to go to museums. Seeing all those wonderfully drawn pictures inspired me. It made me want to draw even more. I tried to copy some of the pictures I saw. As I copied, I discovered things that made my own drawings even better. During the summer, I often drew pictures all day long. I would start when the sun came up and stop when the sun went down. In the fall, I was busy getting ready for my long winter sleep, but I always found time to do at least one drawing. During the winter, I would wake up and draw. Many years have passed. I'm a big bear now, but I still love to draw. I am invited to dine with kings and queens and presidents. I even draw pictures for them on napkins. I've been given medals and prizes for my drawings. I've been offered big houses and fancy cars, but I don't take them. I don't even know how to drive. For I am a bear. I'm content to live in my den in the forest and draw pictures. I was born a bear, and I will always be a bear. But I'm an artist too, because that is what I've decided to be. Just as you can be an artist if that's what you want to be. If you love to draw and you'd rather spend your time drawing than doing just about anything else, I'd say you're well on your way. You can't be a bear, but you can be an artist. Are you an artist? Then say so. Say it softly to yourself, or say it loudly for the whole world to hear. I am an artist. There, now you are an artist for all time and forever.
Do you like to draw? Or would you like to get better at drawing like Bear did? In order for that to happen, you have to draw a little bit every day. I've been drawing since I was a little girl, and I love drawing still to this day, and I'm an artist now. So you can be an artist as well. All of us are artists. Whenever we want to create something, we are called artists. So today I'm going to teach you how to make that little book. It's super easy, and you can take this little book anywhere you want with a pencil or some crayons, and you can draw a little bit every day by looking closely at things you see in your world. Let me show you a couple of books that I've made in the style that we're making today. This is called an accordion book because the pages are folded back and forth. And this book is a book of faces that I started drawing at the very beginning of COVID because we couldn't go anywhere and we couldn't see people for a while. And I started just drawing faces of people that were important to me. I put a cover on it. Today we're not going to put a cover on it, but I'll show you quickly how to do that. This book is a flat book, and it's just folded paper put together and then connected through a little tab here. And then this is a cover that I put on the outside with some glue. Pretty easy. And then this is also a concertina accordion fold book with a little kind of like a belt that goes out over the outside of it to keep it together. And I call it my playbook because I was just playing with watercolors and drawing with ink and making things that I saw. This is a collage. This was a very fun book. And the thing about these books is that you can use both sides of them. And so it's almost like you have two books in one. So let's get started. What you'll need for this project is a piece of paper, and you can use copy paper or you can use any color of construction paper, whatever you have on hand. I like white because I like to draw on white. You'll need some scissors, and you'll need a glue stick, and you might want a piece of ribbon or some extra paper if you want to put a belt on your book to keep it together. Okay, let's get started. All right, here's what we'll do to get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of paper. I have it from side to side, not vertical, but horizontal. And I'm just going to fold it in half, touching each corner, holding it in the middle. And then I'm going to use my fingernail to fold it. Now, if your hands aren't very strong or you don't have good fingernails, you can use a popsicle stick or something called a bone folder. So I have here just one of those tongue depressors, craft sticks, and I'm just going to use it to make the fold nice and tight. So then I'm going to open it up, fold it back and forth a couple of times, do that again, and now I'm going to cut it in half. It's easy as pie. Cut that in half. Take my time, try to stay right on that fold so it's nice and straight. And if you have a paper cutter and a grown-up at home or at school that can help you with this, all the better, because you'll get a straighter, you'll get a straight, really straight cut. Okay, now put that one aside, and vertically I'm going to fold again in half those long strips using my craft stick. Okay, and now I'm going to fold it again. I'm going to fold it in from the ends to the middle. So once again, using my craft stick, once again using my craft stick, and you'll see that I flipped it over to do it again. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to do that, but I flipped it over. All right, and now I have the beginning of a back and forth accordion. So I'm going to put this one right over here, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Fold it in half. Use my craft stick. Artists who make books professionally call that a bone folder. It used to be made a long time ago out of actual bones because they were so strong. You could also make one out of wood. I have one made out of plastic. Okay, now I've got two books that are two sides of this that are already folded. So what I want to do now is I want to go back and forth. So I'm going to go back and forth and back. Lay that aside, and I'm going to do the same with the other one. Fold this one in, this one back, and this one back. So now I have two pieces exactly the same. But I don't want them to be the same. I want them to be opposite. So if you look at this one, it looks like an M. I want this one to look like a W. So I'm going to flip this one over. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to just lay it over the top of the second piece. And guess what? This is where our glue goes. So I'll lay this right here. So the M goes on top of the W, and I'm going to put a nice bit of glue all over the bottom piece. This purple glue turns clear when it dries, so I don't really ever worry about being able to see that. I'm going to lay that right over the top. Make sure the edges are straight. And I've got myself a little accordion book. Look at that. So you've got pages on this side, and you've got pages on this side. Now remember, I told you if you wanted to make this big, all you have to do is cut another piece of paper and add it just like you did your first two pieces. So if I want to make a cover, here's a piece of scrap paper from an old calendar that I had. And I'm going to turn it over the other side, and I'm going to trace the size of my book with a pencil. There we go. Oops, it's not very dark, is it? And now I'm going to cut it out. And I'll bet you're already guessing. Yep, we are going to glue this piece onto the front of our book. If you want a backing, you can do the same, but I'm going to leave my back open, white, because I might want to add some more pages. All right, and so now I'm going to take some glue, and I'm going to put glue all over the front of my book. Nice bit of glue, and then hover this right over the corners to make sure I get it on straight. And there we go. I've got myself a little accordion book, and I can stick this in my back pocket with a pencil, or in my backpack with a pencil, or some colored pencils, or some crayons. Now, if you want a way to put this together, you can always take a ribbon. You can glue the ribbon on the back and then tie it around the front this way, so you have something to hold it shut. You can always make a little, you can always make a little belt like I had on mine, and all you need to do is it needs to be double. So I'm going to fold this paper in half, and then I want to make sure, oh, that's almost exactly doubled. So if it wasn't exact, I would want to lay this down like this and make sure that it was long enough, but I'm just going to cut it this way. And you don't need it to be as wide, you just need okay. And now I can pull this around. Let's do it this way. And then I want to fold these pieces over together upon themselves and put a little glue there. I think I'll do it this way so I've got that black and white piece. Put a little glue there. Don't worry if it's a little bit loose, because you may want to add more pages. This is where the glue is going to go, right on the tab. Put it over, and then you've got a little belt to hold it together. And all you do is slide that on and off as you're ready to draw. So I'm curious about what you're going to draw. My garden is in full bloom right now. I think I'm going to go outside with my little book and draw some of the flowers that I see. Don't forget to put the date on your drawing so you'll know when you have started them. You can put the date in the front of your book or in the back of your book. Have fun with these. There's so many possibilities when you make these little books. Maybe you can teach someone else how to make an accordion concertina book. All right, have a good time. You can share this video with others who might want to make a book or hear a really good story about a bear who likes to draw. Just copy the link and send it on to a friend or a teacher friend or a group of people that you love to be with and have fun together. Thanks for joining us.